Let me start with a question that sounds simple but cuts deeper than most people are willing to admit. What if Christmas has already come, but it never really entered your life? You see the lights? You hear the music. You buy the gifts. You go to church, maybe even more than usual this time of year. And yet, when the decorations come down, when the year turns over, something inside you still feels cold, still empty, still restless. My friend, Christmas is not a date on the calendar. Christmas is not a season in the mall. Christmas is not even a tradition. Christmas is a person. And unless that person is welcomed into the real places of your life, nothing truly changes. The Bible tells us something heartbreaking about the very first Christmas. In Luke chapter 2, it says that Mary gave birth to her firstborn son, wrapped him in cloths, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. No room. And 2,000 years later, the tragedy is still repeating itself, not in hotels, but in hearts. So today, I want to talk to you about 5 things you must do if you truly want to welcome Christmas into your life. Not just your house, not just your schedule, but your soul. And this isn't about trying harder. It's not about being more religious. It's about making room for God where it actually matters. Thing number 1, make room where you've been too busy to look. Let's be honest. Most of us aren't rejecting God. We're just crowded. Crowded with deadlines. Crowded with noise. Crowded with distractions. Crowded with worries about tomorrow. And we tell ourselves, when things slow down, I'll focus on God. When this season passes, I'll pray more. When life gets easier, I'll listen. But Christmas reminds us of a hard truth. God doesn't wait for life to calm down. He enters right in the middle of the chaos. Bethlehem was not peaceful. Mary was not comfortable. Joseph was not confident. The world was not ready. And yet, God came anyway. If you want Christmas in your life, you must stop waiting for perfect conditions and start making intentional space. That might mean turning off your phone when you pray. It might mean sitting in silence even when it feels uncomfortable. It might mean saying no to something good so you can say yes to something eternal. God doesn't need much space, but He won't force His way in. You make room, or you miss the miracle. Thing number 2, let go of the version of life you thought you'd have. This one is hard. And it's personal. Because the truth is, many of us are disappointed, not just with life, but with God. We had a picture in our minds of how things were supposed to turn out. And when that picture shattered, we quietly shut our hearts. Mary probably imagined a normal life. Joseph probably imagined a simple future. Neither of them imagined a pregnancy surrounded by scandal, fear, and uncertainty. And yet, Christmas happened because they surrendered their expectations. If you're holding on to resentment, if you're replaying what could have been, ... If you're clinging to a dream God never promised, you'll struggle to recognize Christ when He shows up. Christmas enters not through control, but through surrender. When you say, God, I don't understand this, but I trust you, something shifts, not outside of you first, but inside. Sometimes the greatest gift of Christmas is not what God gives you, but what He gently asks you to release. Thing number 3, receive grace instead of trying to deserve it. This is where many people get stuck. We think, I'll come back to God when I clean myself up. I'll pray again when I stop failing. I'll feel worthy when I'm better. But Christmas destroys that lie. Jesus was born in a feeding trough, not a palace, surrounded by animals, not royalty, visited first by shepherds, not religious elites. Why? Because grace does not wait for you to be ready. Grace comes because you are not. If you want Christmas in your life, you must stop trying to earn what God already wants to give. You don't need to impress Him. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to hide. You come as you are, or you don't come at all. The moment you stop pretending is the moment Christ begins to live in you. Thing number 4, invite Jesus into the pain you've been avoiding. There is a part of your life you rarely talk about, a wound you learned to live with, a loss you never fully grieved, a disappointment you buried under activity and smiles. And if we're honest, many of us have invited Jesus into our beliefs, but not into our pain. We'll sing about Him. We'll talk about Him. We'll defend Him. But we won't sit with Him in the places that still hurt. Yet this is exactly where Christmas points us. Jesus did not enter the world through strength. He entered through vulnerability. A crying baby, dependent, exposed, breakable. God did not stay distant from human suffering. He stepped into it. So if you want Christmas in your life, you must stop hiding your pain from the very one who came to heal it. You don't have to explain it perfectly. You don't have to have the right words. You don't even have to understand it. You just have to say, Jesus, this hurts and I'm tired of carrying it alone. Christmas doesn't remove pain overnight, but it gives pain a companion. And when God is present, suffering is never wasted. Thing number 5, choose to carry Christ beyond December. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Many people celebrate Jesus for a season, but never follow Him into a lifestyle. They invite Him into December, but lock Him out in January. They love the comfort of Christmas, but resist the cost of discipleship. But Jesus was not born to be remembered once a year. He was born to be carried daily. Mary didn't just give birth to Jesus. She raised Him, protected Him, walked with Him, watched Him grow. In the same way, welcoming Christmas into your life means choosing to live differently after the lights come down. It means forgiving when it's hard. It means loving when it costs you. It means trusting God when the feelings fade. Anyone can feel inspired at Christmas, but real faith shows up when the emotion is gone and obedience remains. You don't need a perfect year. You don't need a flawless record. You need a willing heart. Because when Christ lives in you, every ordinary day becomes sacred. Let me leave you with this. The world was busy the night Jesus was born. People were eating, traveling, sleeping, unaware that eternity had just stepped into time. And that same moment is happening right now. Christmas is knocking. Not on your door, but on your heart. Not asking for performance. Not demanding perfection. Just asking for room. Room in your schedule. Room in your expectations. Room in your pain. Room in your future. You don't need more religion. You don't need more effort. You need Emmanuel, God with you. So this Christmas, don't just celebrate the story. Live it. Carry it. Let it change you. Because when Christ truly enters your life, Christmas never ends.